So we're live, I'm guessing. All right. Back at it again. The number one student of the game. Student of the game. Markets can easily crash out from here. Easily crash out from here. I don't want to see that up. Okay. Easily crash out here. I'll point out something in a second. What my expectations have been. It's gone. But I think these lows could get targeted here. Easily. We're going to be patient. Electronic trading hours here. So, what I want to see, I want to be as patient as possible today. But it seems like this market might just be going. What I want to see was an initial run above some highs in here and drop. I mentioned on Monday that this level can serve as a resistance if we get below it. So we ran out liquidity, right? And we ran above it and back lower. And now we're using it as resistance so far. And I can see a run down here. See if we get that. And if that's the case, I might just have to miss the train. Train might have left without me. We're going to be patient. But I really want to see a run above some of these highs, man. All right. This. So, again, these markets seem like they want to just tank straight up. Look at your regular trading hour charts. Where would liquidity be? Let's highlight that for a second. Right here. So, going to leave it like this. Vault. 2x that vault. I want to see a run here. I was just a little swing low here. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just going to have that highlighted too. But I think if we're going to drop, we're going to go to 26.65. Highlight this vault too. All right. Let's just watch this. Now, patience here.
This guy made a huge mistake because
Share this YouTube link. No rush. So the markets are easier to keep on tanking and tanking and tanking, which is what we might just see here. I'm in no rush. If I don't get a trade, I don't get a trade. Another trade, I might have to mess with S&P. That's another conversation. Nasdaq is gone. Now here's the thing: with it dropping this lower first, if it drops aggressively this lower first, then I will consider longs. If it just keeps going lower, I will consider longs. But if it retraces aggressively before hitting, these are lows I want to see price hit. So if it has some type of deep retracement, then I can consider shorts. But if it just goes straight shot, I'm not touching that. Okay, so again, nice little left one here. If we trade above here, this does become a little interesting. And how we do it, this becomes interesting. I'll be patient. I like how it took us to pull liquidity. You know, we have a lot of liquidity resting above here. I'll be a fan of a run above that. Because frankly, yes, I want to be short, but I'm just letting the markets give me what it gives me. And right now, the fact that we drop lower first, I want to see these lows get taken. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Mhm. Nothing to do. I'm also watching closely this big old chunk of price action. 8, 10, 790. Maybe the 800 level. So, I'm also going to watch here. We're going to paper trade again. It's just demo, 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 demo. I don't care. Or demo trading practice account. I don't care. Let's practice this. Wow. Cool. So, again, we got a little push higher. Now we're in this 5-minute level here. Mm. Nice pullback. Cool. I'm gonna short this thing here. Short it here. Another little push. So I'm short this one right here. Good stop loss. I want to see return above here. All right. So that. Oh man, I showed the wrong thing. All right. I mistakenly shorted a pound on my funded account. So it's quiet. But okay. So I like the idea of this dropping from here. We'll see what happens. Um, I want to, of course, come back below this loot zone here. That'll be nice. So if you look at your S&P, you will see some SMT, but we'll get into that later. So again, the target R is ideally, I'm a little off to see, but let's go on 15-minute chart. I want to see price drop here. And it could go beyond that. I like to see price go here. So if it goes beyond that, then obviously we can see this. I don't know if that's gonna happen. It's obviously Tuesday, no news. So we're gonna be humble about it, but I'll take a significant chunk off here. So let's do this. There's a lot going on. So I'm gonna do this right here. Buy limit of 3. We're gonna do 4. I'll do another buy limit here of 2. Okay. And then earlier we can do buy limit of, it disappeared. I don't know where it went. Demo. Let's make it 3. I want to take out 70% there. Like, I think it might just hit there and reject if we get all the way lower, right? So let's go back to the 5-minute chart. Again, I like what I see here. Boom, boom. There is some SMT. If you look at the way price ran higher here, S&P 500 ran out these highs, and we did not see Nasdaq do the same. So these lows become in jeopardy. So the first place to even take something off the table, if I really wanted to, these lows right here. All right. Let's see if price gets there. I like the price action so far. Nice and clean. You want to see 24,665. That's ideal. We'll see if we'll get. Now, ideally, price should stay below this 1 minute level on the right. Ideally, if it goes up, I want to see if it even touched it. It should drop. I don't think it has to touch anymore, but if it does, I would like to see it drop. I don't think it has to touch it though. But this is obviously a 5 minute setup, so I'm not going to. If that doesn't go well, I'm gonna change my stance. But looking at this 1 minute chart, I'd like to see this hold now at this point. And I want to see these lows get targeted here. That's what the dollar's doing at this point. Dollar's having a little drop. There we go. There she go. There she go, Nasdaq. Like when Nasdaq act right. Don't we like when Nasdaq act right? I want to see this continue though. This thing would caught 50 points. This is the dilemma now. Now it's like I'm just wanting more. I don't know if there's too much to ask for from Nasdaq today because there's no news. That's the only barrier that I see. Lack of news. Okay, I like what S&P is doing. I like what Nasdaq is doing. Let me see what 30 is doing. This okay. I like what's going on so far. Where's my mouse? I'm just taking something off the table here just because as well. All right. So I'm taking off the table there. Just free ourselves of not closing it with profits. And at this point, we can move this to break even situation. Granted, strong. This SMT going on right now, so I'm not a fan. Meaning only Nasdaq made this lower low. We're not seeing the same thing take place on S&P 530. So we'll see this wants to continue. What price can do, it can treat this up close candle here, a 5 minute chart, as an order block or C4 and then still drop price. But notice how my stop loss is within this candle's range. So price can easily just go there and tag it. I'd rather not see it. I'd rather see it stay below midpoint of this 5 minute up close candle when I'm aware that that could take place. And if it does, if it gives a nice entry, then I'll re-engage it. So we had that pool liquidity taken. Now we want to see this act as C4 to drop price lower. And that was a 50-point run, so easily the trade could have been fully closed out there. All right. All you need is 50 points a day. Okay. We'll see if we're gonna get a continuation or if price is gonna start messing around. Okay. Price wants to mess around here. And this could easily Be a complete reversal here. We're gonna watch. I'm not the biggest fan of this pullback here. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Here. Okay, so I'm fully out. Well, let me close it here too. Just go on this side. Cool. So, I mean, that was a nice little setup, 50-point run. Again, we're still deep in this 5-minute territory. I'm not a fan of sticking to this. I mean, it's very pulled back deeply. So, I don't want to give back much profits back to the market. But you guys saw that nice little sell there. Took some off the table over here. And we'll see this 5-minute level wants to hold for another drop off, but be very cautious. This to me should still drop price. Let's see if I might just re-engage this here. 2-point stop. I don't like it. Nope. At this point, I'm probably gonna chill on the sidelines. From a 15-minute perspective, though, everything still looks good for another sell-off. Still see another sell-off happening. Still see another sell-off happening here. I want to be patient though. I see another sell-off happening, guys. The only thing now is, do these highs actually get tagged? I've been waiting for it. If you go on the electronic trading hours, the question becomes, do these highs eventually get tagged? I don't know. I don't know at this point. We caught a nice little sell, take out these lows. Prices hit it and then reject it. I think unless we overcome the 5-minute fair value gap, we are not going higher. That's just my take. It looks good though. A 1 minute chart. Nice little run below here. SMT. Price like it's climbing, but until we out of this 5 minute level, I'm not buying reversal. If it goes higher, oh well. I mean, there's no skin in the game right now. I already made my profits. Looks like a turn around. See that happening. These eyes could be in jeopardy. See that. If I want to go long, I'll be going long right here. I wouldn't want to see a run below these lows. We're gonna test this out one more time. There she go. I knew it was in you. All right, we're gonna test the shorts out for real. Where's my mouse? We're gonna test them out some more. Put on stop loss. Please, it's not financial advice, so it's just me reading price action to my satisfaction. So now we've had a run on liquidity because I mean, if you look at that 15-minute chart, let's look at the 1 hour for a second. In fact, it's moving fast. I'll show you guys. Well, let's look at the 1 hour real quick. It doesn't look like it wants to turn around. It looks like it just gave a wick, which again, most traders, retail traders think is exhaustion or doji and want to reverse that. 15-minute chart, you see all the wick. So I think most traders would think, okay, this is a support area. So they want to buy that. And then all we did was enter a 15-minute fair value gap here. But let's go back to the 5-minute chart and just focus on that. See if we still want to drop here. Let's see if we can get that. So I didn't want to change bullish again until we saw a 5-minute close above here, and we did not get that. So I'm sticking to the bears. If you look at your S&P 500, 930 highs got swept. Nasdaq did not do the same. So I like the idea, and it looks like 30 wants to turn bearish too. Let's draw 10 o'clock. When did 10 o'clock start? 10 o'clock started right here. 10 o'clock for 10 o'clock hour, right above this pool liquidity. Now we're dropping. And we'll see if we want to take out these lows here. And I think my buy limit is just still there. At this point, I'm gonna make this one 2. Confirm that. Make this one 2 as well. Now, if it's serious, it should be a straight shot. We shouldn't have to go all the way back and forth again. Probably should want to run lower. Shouldn't be too much more dancing around. And the anchor of this trade is 5-minute level here. If we lose this, then it becomes problematic. Ideally, you just want to see price drift its way lower. I like this 1-minute structure. This last up close candle should ideally hold price and drop it lower. Should drop price lower here. It size trade above it, and we just have these highs and perhaps a run back up here. I just added sell them in case price wants to come revisit this 5 minute level. You can do it, and then I still want to see it drop. Okay. Ideally, I don't want to see this candle have a strong close, guys. If we have a strong close on this 1 minute chart, that's not fun. And what I'm gonna do actually is highlight something else here. Ideally, I want to see this movement maintained and this candle here. I'm gonna shift this a little bit. It's anchoring trade is a 5 minute level. So if it runs above it, cool. Then if not, then everything's still in place. As much as we're seeing a little dance around, which I didn't want to see. Ideally, I want to see this 1 minute level hold though. I would like to see that. There she go. I like how we're pushing away from that level when you see some sustained movement there. time to play around. Tuesday. No news. I'm just dancing at this point. Only one thing I'll say I'm comfortable about is that we are below 930 opening price. That's the only thing I'm comfortable with, that we're below 930 opening price and midnight opening price. So shorts ideally should be taken above that. That's the one thing I'll say I'm uncomfortable with. This would be a A1 setup if not for that specific element. All right, so one element I'll say I'm uncomfortable with. And this arrow here is actually the weekly opening price. So we're really overall, we're just using opening prices in a discount. I don't like that. Looking at this, but prices try to get there and fell short. To me, showing some weakness, but the fact that we're still dancing here, not a fan. If anything, price does want to run. If it does want to run these highs, if it does have energy to do that, it needs to be a very short-lived and reject off this weekly opening price. Anything outside of that, then obviously the trade is dead. So, I mean, everything is still in place. I'm just pointing out the things mentally that what makes trade better is if we were trading above an opening price, or this weekly opening price, midnight opening price, night opening price, the fact that we're below all three, a little unsettling. But we are, and the entry's still near the weekly open, so we're okay. And everything's still in place. It's just dancing. It's Tuesday when there's no news. This is what you can expect, right? I think there was actually news today. But this jolt job openings, I guess. Oh. But at the same time, it's nothing that's making me shift to buys right now. It's just more of playing the patient game of when these sales will eventually play out. Even looking at this loot zone here, or fair value gap, we haven't really had a candle close above the 50% of this. So it shows that this level is holding strongly. We're getting candles closed below midpoint and then just wick and wick. And price just wicking into that level and rejecting. So that's good. Obviously, just the one thing in trading that we all need to have is patience. And that's the only thing about trading. It's like you can't, even when you're right, it's not a quick, let me know if I'm right or wrong. You have to wait it out. Be willing to wait it out to see whether you're right or wrong. But everything is pointing to a nice trade. Just the one thing is, I would have loved this was above opening price. I would label that as an A1 setup. This to me, so it's an A setup. B. I'll give it a B plus, maybe B minus. Only reason it has a high grade is because we're still near the weekly opening price as much as we're not above it. So you want to be entering near in proximity to opening prices or above them if you want to short. If you want to buy, you want to enter below opening prices or in close proximity to them. So the fact that this 5-minute level is in close proximity, I don't mind the shorts. And when you look at the likes of S&P 500, S&P 500 has done damage above its 930 opening price. So that's another thing that's giving me confidence. If S&P had not done that damage, or US 30 had not done something like that, then I would not be in this trade. But apart from that, we're just gonna watch to see if this plays out in our favor or not. So I'm gonna mute myself and we'll see what happens from here. Well, I'll mute myself occasionally. I think one thing to point out is it's still 9:30 a.m. My times that's 10:30 New York times. There's a lot of time for price to still play out, right? Because I ideally want to see price do its thing between, at least for me, between 9:50 to 12 o'clock New York time. So essentially 10:30. We have an hour, 30 minutes for price to still, if it wants to keep dropping, make another move lower. Or if it wants to go higher, make a move higher. But right now, things are leaning, in my opinion, towards shorts. Notice I haven't moved my stop loss, so I'm accepting the risk. All right, so now these markets are really playing around because if you look at 30, 30 is crashing out right now. Crashing out. So Nasdaq even needs to pick up the pace and start crashing out. All right, 30 is crashing out right now. And here's Nasdaq playing around. And needs to join the 30 is crashing out. S&P looks like it's picking up momentum here. And here's Nasdaq consolidating. So again, funny markets right now. 30 is crashing out, guys. I mean, let me show you what 30 is doing. You see the difference. What US 30 is doing. Sinking. And Nasdaq's still playing. That's not ideal. Nasdaq needs to pick up the pace. Because it was leading the drop. And now it's not doing that. And you see Nasdaq pick up the pace, guys. Nasdaq needs to pick up some pace here. While it's dancing around. Ain't gonna do it. While it's dancing around. After we see 30 drop off like that. And 30's dropping it low. Nasdaq is playing games. S&P looks like it's picking up pace here. So Nasdaq's the only one playing right now, unless we need to see momentum here. Nasdaq's the only one playing. 30's going. S&P's going. So they're just deciding to play with the markets now at this point. '30's overly going. Come on, Nasdaq. I know you have it in you. It's not the best indication though. Whenever you're seeing the other pairs drop and then the one you're trading is not doing that, that could lead to a run on liquidity before they then make their move. So ideally, you want to see the market pick up as much pace as possible immediately and not waste too much time. Especially if the opposite pair or your correlated assets are hitting strong liquidity pools, which 30 right now just ran through its previous day's lows. So, and Nasdaq is still dancing. I mean, now we're seeing some momentum, but we need to see a deeper push. S&P as well looks like it's about to run out its intraday lows. So Nasdaq needs to just have an overwhelming push lower right now. If Nasdaq gets to drop. 30 is going. You see, I mean, that's getting that push over, so it's okay, but it's underwhelming when you look at again S&P. Look what S&P has done. Flush, right? It's taking out its intraday lows here. So same lows right here on Nasdaq. You see, S&P just took it out. So we need to see Nasdaq give us that rush. No need for it to dance around anymore. Any dancing around, it starts pulling back, doing anything extra, then that is not good. Need some speed on Nasdaq, guys. Let's see if we get it. This is one thing I'll say about price that's real frustrating is when you have a right, but you can obviously tell they're holding these markets back, and they could potentially just run this bit, run this thing higher. Like all the other assets have dropped. S&P 30, all of them dropped, and you know Nasdaq ideally in a perfect world would drop as well. But they decide to hold the one pair you're trading. They just decide to hold it back and start playing around with it. That's exactly what they're doing right here. That's exactly what they're doing. They have the numbers right, but they want to play with this specific market, which Nasdaq, you see, they're really playing with it right now. Again, you go look at your 30, look at your S&P. They've ran lower. Nasdaq, they want to play with it right now. And with this playing around, they can easily push this higher. That's the one frustrating thing I'll say about trading. Sometimes it's like when you have a right, but for some reason, that one pair you're trading, the asset you're trading, they decide to mess with it. Especially when Nasdaq was leading the way with lower prices. Right, it was the weakest one out of the three, and then now it's acting like it doesn't know what it wants to do. Oh gosh, that could be very. It is very frustrating. I'll say because with the information I have, I know they can then easily run this to my stock. Again, we're gonna accept the risk, but that's just the annoying part. Because what could easily happen now, since Nasdaq not run lower, they can make another run for some liquidity, which is this high here. I mean, you have this high here, this high here. They can easily just run that, and then do they get real aggressive overwhelmingly and then hit the stop, or would they just run it and then drop? We'll see. Or perhaps just this run here is good enough for them to drop price. But that's just an annoying thing is when you have the cards right, but they just decide to play with the one you're trading. And you can see it when you look across comparative asset classes. So we're gonna stick to the trade, stick to the setup. but that is annoying. All right, guys, you can see again, now we have run on liquidity. This is exactly what I was saying was going to happen. Since we had 30 go lower, S&P go lower, and Nasdaq did not. This is exactly what we can then expect a run on liquidity. The question is, how far do they extend this run? Do they just do a full blown reversal? It's very possible at this point. At this point, probabilities have died down in my mind for this trade due to what we just witnessed, an aggressive drop on that on US 30, aggressive drop on S&P, but Nasdaq not willing to do the same. So it's one of those where it's like you feel a little shift in the market and what it wants to do. However, what's anchoring this trade is this 5 minute level, so I'm gonna still stick to it, but probabilities have died down. So again, this is not this is all done on a demo, so don't be live trading. I'll never tell you to live trade anything. It's just me reading price. But at this point, we're going to stick to the trade. But all the other factors I mentioned do make this trade have a less probability. Because again, they can just easily on this 5 minute chart run out this liquidity pool. If they run it out, how aggressive do they want to be? And do they just want to fully flip the script? That's what I'm thinking now. If we get a run above these highs, how aggressive? And then are you just going to fully reverse course and keep going higher instead of reaching for the lows that they should have reached for? Then that bears, if as a bear, I would like to see is if we do run these highs, an immediate rejection. You hit opening price, a week opening price, 9th opening price, but it needs to immediately reject. And I don't want to see a bold faced, strong, bullish candle if I'm a bear. I mean, which I am right now. Yep, they're gonna run this thing higher. Yep, exactly. So interesting. I mean, the market did exactly what was called out. I called out where there might be issues. I called a nice little sell off here, which is good. Try to get another sell off here. Um, so let me go back. So I caught a nice little sell off here. You saw me catch those sells. The price traded higher again. Caught another sell off here, but we're expecting to run below here, which we did not get. However, on this specific move here from 10:30 all the way to this time, 10:41, we saw US 30, we saw S&P take that deep dive lower, and Nasdaq now went through the same, and I mentioned how this would be a problem because if that happens, price can then seek a run on liquidity. And the question is, how aggressive do they get on that run on liquidity? And do they flip the script completely? And the way price looks, it looks like they are flipping the script completely to then push higher. I would like to see a run on these highs at this point. That's what I want to see now. One here. So before it's even try to frame a setup for buys, it will be if it comes back in here, something like this. Any points there? You can set up a buy there. Set some buys there, but so you can set up some buys. Where's my? But it'll be very short. So right here, let's just buy like that. Ideally, just buys like this because stop loss really below here. But I'm gonna close one out, guys. The sales were nice. Everything was called. Obviously, one win, one loss. At this point, I would like to see. My mouse is tripping. I would like to see a run above here, above these highs, and potentially to 24, potentially 24,900. We'll see if we get it. I'm gonna close this one out, guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time. But it's an overall good, read on price. I think it was solid. Every expectation was on point. The question is, what do you do with it, right? Every expectation was on point. Everything was called out to the T. And we'll see lastly, just again, the level wants to go ahead and deliver higher prices. Or if we get a crazy rejection, but at this point, I think we've turned around the script, and I would like to see a run above these 1 hour highs. So if I was to do a take profit area, it'll probably be around. Oh, don't do that. Hold on. It'll be around here. Nothing crazy. So it's not even a 1 to 2. So it's not even worth the trade. See that? So we're gonna close that out. But all right, guys. I'll talk to you guys next time. I'm gonna actually close the trade out because it's not really even a 1 to 2. I'll just let it play out. But all right, talk to you guys next time. Stop recording. Boom, 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 boom. Let's stop the streaming too. Yes. What else, man?